That's where I get that one. I go,
No, but
I'll do the intro post edit.
Do the what? Why is it
Intro.
doing that?
Apple fucking with you again.
It's just constant.
Never stops. It's the same with YouTube. Always, just every now and then,
Never.
they just put autoplay back on. And you're like, why have you done this to me?
What is it? Wait, what's autoplay?
It'll play the next related video to whatever you're watching.
I didn't realise you could turn that off.
Yeah, there's a button next to it that says
Don't
turn
do
it
that.
off.
All right.
Yeah, like it's a toggle button of autoplay. So it's always off because I never...
No, I never want to see the next
No,
one.
never ever. And I'd rather see a selection of 9 or whatever it is related videos that I can choose
But
from.
people do that.
Do what? Like watch
they
autoplay.
Yeah, and I
Morons.
don't get it why.
Fuck them.
The next one is never anything to do with what I want.
Even if it is, don't trust YouTube to tell
Yeah.
you what it is you want to see.
Yeah.
Same people who watch telly, like soaps. It's like, yeah,
Just channel
you-
hopping.
Fine, it's gonna be fine. Well, channel hopping's more of a non-autoplay.
That's more decisive.
Yeah, it's like just putting on one channel, just leaving it on, been hoping that E4+1 is going to solve all your entertainment needs.
Never going to solve anything. +1
Yeah.
solved it an hour ago.
Yeah, I'm not. Have you had Apple issues before then? I mean, I know Final Cut Pro has been very good to you.
It has, but that, to be fair, it's because I've been using it for like 10 years.
Yeah, there's
So
a lot
I
of people in domestic violence relationships that have been together for a very long time. For context, I've had some issues with Final Cut Pro, but I think it's more me coming from a programmer side,
Yeah.
or it's in my experience of technology, and it's more like this should work and it's not working, and why isn't it working? Oh, it's because it's been done badly.
Yeah.
And
For me, it's just from the perspective of you don't, and this sounds like a fucking humble brag. It's not.
Okay.
You don't kind of understand. Not you, me.
Okay.
Royal you. You don't kind of understand.
Yeeth.
Kind of how
One doesn't.
how one doesn't. How much you know until you've got to try and figure out someone else's shit. When when the issues that they're having are just like I don't know, like you just I just don't know how to explain certain problems that you're having.
Well, the problem I'm having at the moment is one episode fills up my entire laptop,
Yeah.
like half a terabyte.
Yeah.
It just takes up all of that, and the original files are like 30 gigabytes. And it just means that, and it's just constantly eating it's like a parasite, Final Cut Pro. I'll delete something, and immediately Final Cut Pro will go, oh, more disk space. I can have more disk space. And it's just fuck off.
Yeah.
So I'm going through it over the weekend just to try and play with it. But I was just like, hey, Steve, you use this. Have you experienced these problems? You're like, yeah. But I love it. It's great.
No, like
In terms of disk space,
Oh, in
it's
terms of
turning
disk
way
space,
way more than it needs to.
I've had them before. To be fair, like I got into like buying external drives out of necessity because I was editing so much fucking stuff that it just made sense.
It's making copies of files for no reason whatsoever is the issue that I'm seeing it create on my machine.
Yeah.
And as a techie, I go like, it shouldn't be doing this. There's no reason for this to do this. I mean, I can understand how a bad programmer could probably do this, and this is their solution to that problem, but that's a bad solution to this problem. So just use the one original rendered file. Don't make multiple copies of it, you stupid piece of shit. So, but I've got a history of hating technology.
Tech talk.
No, I've got a real bee in my bonnet about a load of tech, just because we were quite a tech house growing up, which meant that we had a lot of the new experimental tech stuff.
Yeah.
Which meant a lot of it didn't work all the time. If you wanted to watch a DVD in my house when I was growing up, it was a nightmare. Like, it sometimes just wouldn't happen. He's like, well, no. So why can't we get a DVD player? Well, we're using this. Like, okay, and it's being funneled through this. And I was, as a kid, I was like, I just want to watch a film. And it just became a problem. So, and yeah, because I've done enough tech stuff to be like, I can do this. I've done engineering shit in the past. I can
Yeah.
make this work. And when you just see how someone's just made it badly, you just see it happen. And it's just people, right? People do.
bubble up
Everyone's
with rage.
stupid. Oh yeah, well the rage, well, it helps, but it probably doesn't help the problem. But
Yeah.
it helps me express the problem.
Have some problems with Final Cut. Have you tried meditation?
We tried to exploring your inner self to try and figure out. I did figure something out though.
Yeah.
I was listening to Bilbo on the way here, and he was talking about taking his daughter out for Halloween, and I realised I think you're further along this Armageddon than I am, but
Right.
so I think as you go down through life, you start off as Nick, right? I'm like the beginning.
As a baby.
Final cut. Boo, boo, boo. You start off as just an emotionless husk, I think.
Okay.
If you start off right, you start off as a hollow human being.
Right.
And then over time, you open yourself up more and more, right? And that's a good thing. I believe everyone should be as open as they can be. But
Yeah.
it's a give and take. You need to not be open enough to get destroyed.
Okay.
We were talking about, I said about Halloween, I'm not really into it, but if I had a kid, I'd probably get into it and get involved. And it's because you then, once you're in that position, you go, okay, I now have to open myself up to my child and share this experience with them. And that's worth that risk. Because, yes, you are now officially more vulnerable because other people can glimpse into your armor or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're doing it at the price of bonding more with your child
Yeah.
and experiencing
You don't
more
want
with
to
your
be
child.
a cold, emotionless husk of a father.
No, of anything really.
Yeah.
But and the same with friends, right? If you've got no friends, you'll probably be more of an emotional husk.
Yeah.
But when you're around good friends, then that little emotional husk, there's a few, you can peek through it a little bit here
Sometimes.
and there. Extension cords. So yeah, I think just as you go on, you become more open if you're in a good space. If you're in
Yeah.
a bad space, you got stuff on your shelves. Oh, you got the whiteboard that you
Put the
scribbled
put the shelves up on the rails. It was just rails last time.
Yes, it was. You called them shelves. I said you were wrong. And that was that solved.
Yeah.
We still need an anti-Semite. I'm going to hunt for an anti-Semite this weekend.
Why is that coming up?
Just in terms of things you've achieved. Like you
Yeah.
achieved your shelves, cleaned up. I said I was going to find an anti-Semite.
Yeah.
I need to find an anti-Semite.
We left on Tom Segura.
We did. It was amazing.
Yeah. Really good.
Really good. Really good. Just and Josh Potter as well. Really good. Just a really good show. Weird venue, but it's fine. They had a pre-recorded message
Oh,
that was played
fuck
about 8
that
times
guy.
over the evening of
Fuck
like, don't
that
use
guy.
your phones. And there was a point when, well, I mean, there was a point during the show when somebody's phone went off and like Josh Potter looked incredibly angry, but that might be coincidental. He might just be an angry person.
Yeah.
But maybe that was at the request of the performers to like no cameras, no phones,
Oh,
which
yeah,
would make sense.
But they didn't. It was.
But
They
if they just
didn't.
had someone
it wasn't
say it
the
once.
performers that recorded the fucking
Yeah.
thing. Like it's fine for
Literally
performers
8 times.
to say like no phones, absolutely no phones. I'm all with that. Like 100%.
I'm trying to be funny as well.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
for a real emergency, wow, how special.
Yeah.
8 times.
Go and cry to your mom or something like, and it was just
funny.
it was just don't use your phones or we'll kick you out.
Yeah.
That's it. Except their message went on for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And they repeated it like 8 times before the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
It's a weird
fucking
venue.
irritating.
Nice seating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just a weird part of it.
I quite like the space, like the Lowry. It's a really interesting theatre, but just that. Ugh. And then there's that weird guy in front of us in the Hawaiian shirt. Who's
Yeah,
like,
there's a few weird people around.
it's just very odd. Hawaiian shirt, grass skirt.
A very defensive girlfriend.
Yeah,
You got very upset because we were talking about anti-Semitic, like finding an anti-Semite.
naturally. Yeah,
At the venue. I was
audience
trying
in
to
a crowded
figure out how
space.
to do it.
Yeah.
I was like, what hashtag would we use? Need to find someone. And I
Yeah.
was like, I was thinking about it again on the way here. I think it would be such a cool thing to do, is find an anti-Semite. And just be like, look, completely anonymous. I don't care about your anti-Semitism. Maybe I should. I don't know. Let's
Yeah.
talk. I won't reveal your identity. Just want to hear why you are anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
I want to understand what the deal is. And yeah, this girl in front overheard and got very upset. She wasn't Semitic.
no, she was just very shallow and stupid.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just another weird thing of like, again, people laughing at just like the idea of whatever's being talked about. They're like, oh my God, they're talking about something so controversial. There's a fair bit of that as well. But great shows, really great shows.
Yeah.
Didn't hang around afterwards to meet anybody, but I think subconsciously that's because I was too much of a fan. I'd freak out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you normally now? Like, I think most of the times when I've been with you...
Do I normally what? So freak out?
No, hang around. I know
we did for Burr, and we did for Jim Jeffries. But Burr didn't come out.
Yeah, so we just went to another show.
Yeah, and we just bumped into Doug Stanhope.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like, it was like, oh, could hang around, could chat. But
we'd have been happy to if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I know. And I would have I was driving, forced you to anyway.
Yeah.
But it was just a case of like, it's the same thing with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
It'd be like, I understand that it's not a chore for a lot of people, for a lot of performers, but it would just feel like, oh, hi, how's it going? Oh, hi, how's it going? Oh, hi, how's it going?
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, I just want to have a genuine conversation with you. So, yeah. Didn't, and it was nerding out too much to be like, oh, that's fine, we'll do something like again later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good, really good show. Really good show. Yeah, you enjoy it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was real fun. Yeah, I didn't know Josh prior.
Yeah, I told you a lot of the references beforehand.
Yeah,
that I think got yelled out, and there were loads of podcast references throughout
loads
the whole
of people
show.
screaming and like I didn't understand. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't hear what they were saying.
The one Josh Potter one was like, "Show us your feet."
Okay.
And I was telling you before that he was using Cameo to do
so
foot videos.
I did. That was the one that I heard. And
then there was Suwoo obviously going off in the beginning.
Yeah.
And he went through and described what that was about.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
gang war cry that he thought was funny.
Yeah.
I can't remember them all verbatim. But yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
a really good show. I was surprised as well. It's like, I don't know whether it's a difference in terms of how I view some, like Bill Burr, for example. I think as well we were quite close. I think whenever we've
like
seen
4 rows in or
Bill
something.
Burr, we've been pretty far back or to the side or whatever.
Yeah.
That felt like that was a really nice position to be in. I think
Yeah.
the 5th row or whatever. And it was just like, it was like, it felt more intimate. With the Bill Burr felt more like you were seeing just a god walking on stage. And Tom Segura was like, no, it's fucking Tom Segura on stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked before about guests, right? I still can't understand anything that we could possibly talk to Bill Burr about.
No.
I can't think of a thing.
It would just be.
It's one of those things. I don't know whether it's just now, but you just go like, well, I couldn't. I would love to meet the guy.
I think you could if you
Could
already
have a
knew
conversation.
him.
Yeah,
And
could have a conversation,
'cause-
but it wouldn't be. You'd just be like, why am I here? Like, oh,
Yeah.
we've got like 9 viewers.
Yeah.
I mean, and they'd love to hear some stuff. And it'd just be a weird experience.
Yeah.
You go like, oh, we'll see what goes further down the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it felt more, and this type of, as more and more I'm trying to analyze and just trying to force myself. We're in like year 3 of the podcast.
Yeah.
And
We're in year 4 now.
Yeah, it's been over 3 years
Yeah.
since we started the podcast, and I think I've been on stage half a dozen times. And one of the pushing things of this podcast was to go on stage more often.
Yeah.
6 times in 3 years.
Yeah.
Could be better. So it's more. But I'm as the years go by, I'm getting closer and closer to starting to dealing with my life. It's tempted to do. Yeah, I was tempted. I think actually now I'm on the precipice of doing stuff again properly.
Yeah.
Like getting into. I didn't. You took a photo of Tom Segura's The Stage, and I was like. Because like, you used to be the camera king, just to take photos of everything. It used to be albums, and if the social media was a bigger thing back then,
Yeah.
I'd be more interactive with it.
Yeah. Well,
so
you
I'm trying to get more
You
into
had
it.
a camera everywhere.
Yeah. I never drank. And I
No.
thought, well, fuck it, just take photos of funny
You
stuff.
come away from every night with like 200 photos.
Have you seen the most recent episode that I edited? The one that
Not
was
yet.
released today?
No.
No, well, the photos come in handy. I mean, there was a point where I showed your Asian yellow face that you
okay.
did to ridicule everybody.
Oh, the Lego one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's a bunch of photos in the last one because your camera died, and I just decided to just put different photos of you,
Oh, right.
basically, as well as Star Wars or something. But there was, you used to take photos everywhere, which meant there was loads of documentation. I mean, that count no longer exists, but the photos are there. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to maybe I can start doing something more like that again. And it's not a self-esteem thing. It's just being active again. I think I've very much buried myself, and I'm starting now to get to a point where I'm like, I can start to come out and do a few more things. Gym's the big one. I think I'm really feeling the urge to go to the gym again.
Yeah.
And once that's under lock and key, I think I just I'll
Everything.
reactivate.
Yeah.
It's just rock bottom's a weird thing. I haven't felt like I've been at rock bottom, but I feel like there's something now where I've been like, this is as low as I want to go.
You feel like you want to sink further? Like
No, but you never really have that
yet.
feeling. Never really have that feeling, but I've definitely felt worse.
Yeah.
And I think now it's just a point where I've been like, whatever's come to fruition, mental chemistry, whatever thought processes I've gone through, I've reached a point where I think, stars feel to be aligning in some way. But like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. No,
Yeah.
I can now start and move forward and start doing something. One of the little things I've decided to do is do one productive thing every day. I mean, stupid things as we've discussed. Do your laundry.
Move a rock.
Yeah,
That's an old reference.
that's from like episode 3 or whatever it is. Back when, yeah. I should re-explain that because I want to try to see if I can remember it properly. I was in therapy and I started doing an NHS depression campaign.
Yeah.
Like to the depression campaign. That's the only thing I can think of it.
Yeah.
Like a local group therapy thing.
Yeah.
And one of their things was, let's try eating a biscuit and try and think about all the biscuit
Who
units
wants
that's
a
happening.
biscuit?
And I was just like, well, I'm diabetic, so I guess I'm out.
Yeah.
That was mindfulness. It was kind of like the first entry thing to being accepted into the NHS kind of stuff, and it was all kind of a bit of crap. They were the people telling me anxiety is what you have, and I'd be like, I'm not nervous about anxiety. I don't have. But when they came in, they were like, well, you need to start documenting your life, which is true. You need to start realizing where you are now and where you want to be in order to travel. And I came in and said, well, there's this one thing I wanted to do, and it was based off of, it's not, is it Samson? I can't remember. There's some Greek mythology of a guy moving a rock up a hill,
Right,
and then
okay.
moving it back down, and it rolling back down, and then moving the rock again, and it's just about just keep on moving that rock. So I was like, oh, I'll bring every day I'll just take a rock from my garden and put it in my living room. And just that, and I described how that it's surreal enough for me to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's not boring. It's just like, why are you moving a rock? So if I can move they're bigger rocks, just go and get bigger rocks. Bring rocks inside. They've got a house full of rocks and I'm mentally healthy. And then, she was like, this seems weird. But I tried to do it and I could never really do it because you're just being anti-productive and wanting to not do anything. You're actively not engaging with reality, which I've got loads of examples of like washing and you putting your shelves up but not putting the actual shelves up. I know it's not the exact same case, but there's a similar kind of thing of like, I'm doing it. It's like, no, you're not, and it's fine that you're not, but you thinking that you've done it and you haven't done it is the disconnect that you get.
All right.
Yeah, no, okay. No, but loads of people say that, oh yeah, tomorrow I'm getting on it. It's like, no, you're not. You're just saying it to yourself. Oh, no, I have done some good stuff. No, you haven't, and it's fine that you haven't. But thinking that you've done more than you have is the problem. You need to be like, no, just check where I am right now. Okay, where do I want to be? Because then it creates this whole disillusion. Anyway, the joke about that story was, as soon as I got a dog, the first thing my dog did was go into the garden, pick up a rock and bring it in. It was like, this dog's better than me. So yeah, just can't remember how I got into that story. Something about rocks.
Find a way to better yourself. Something productive every day.
Yeah, decided the gym thing's more on my mind. I just want to do that. But yeah, this the small thing of like, just review every day and be like, just do one thing that's going to move you forward in your existence, whatever that may be, and not something ethereal. Don't like learn Dutch. I tried that.
Learn Dutch.
Just every day.
Today.
Every 5 minutes. Every day I'll do 5 minutes and I'll learn the language. It's like, that's great. But it's not a clear result. It's not tangible. It's like, yes, it is good to do that, but I need more physical interaction at the moment. I need more physical results. So I've been like, just every day, just do one thing, whatever it is. I moved the glass from one room to the other. I tidied up a little bit. I did this, whatever. And then it just becomes more and more. Same with social media. I'm terrible with it. Just because I don't like interacting. And I think that's just, again, another roadblock, because as soon as I start interacting, I start to react, and then I start to grow. And there's a whole thing of just like, no. So I just need to break that barrier. So start doing that. Then start being like, oh, I'll do a Facebook post every day. Whatever it is. Do a blog. Or whatever the fuck. Anyway.
Another 20-minute intro.
No, I've got an idea for the intro.
All right, so no rolling intro now.
No, I told you at the beginning.
Did you?
Yeah. Before we started recording, I said I'll do the intro in the edit.
I was too busy defending my mate.
I was defending Final Cut Pro. Just stop eating all my fucking disk space. Anyway, in the news this week, have you been following the news?
No. Every now and again, I get a message that says there's an election, and I throw my phone against the wall.
Have you completely abandoned? Because there was a time during this podcast that you became a bit more political, and then there was a time you're like, I'm not going to talk about other people. Is it now reached a point where you have no interest in it, or is it more just like I just don't want to talk? I'm
bored of it. I'm just bored. And the annoying thing is that that's exactly what I said. Like, it said that you shouldn't be. Like 3 years ago.
Right.
Like, I was just like, no, you like.
Oh yeah, you're trying to find something to support and something to be active in.
Yeah, but it's just constant, and it's fucking stupid, and nothing's changing, and none of it matters, and everybody thinks they're brave for saying things that everyone agrees with, and the whole thing is fucking irritating, and I don't want any part of it now. So, like, I'll probably vote. I still don't know who for, and I don't care.
Welcome to Nick.
Yeah.
That's been my view for a long time, and I've had loads. I like having the discussion because I've got quite a few friends who are really into politics. And it's just like, I don't know what's going on. Can you tell me? It's like, Boris Johnson's the future, or Corbyn's the future, and I'll be like, well, why? Why do you think this? Oh, because of this, and this. It's just the premise that I have is they're openly corrupt people. We've known them to be stereotypically corrupt in the past. But now they're becoming more and more obviously going against what people voted for.
They're all hypocrites, and they're all playing a game. All of them. There isn't an exception.
And it makes sense. You can't be an honest person and represent the views of the majority of the population.
No.
It can't happen. You can't be an accurate representation of the majority of the population.
No.
Because people are unique. So you're going to lie about stuff, you're going to pretend about stuff, and you're going to play a game. As long as that's the game, I'm not going to pretend like I know what the right decision is, because there's so much information that is completely unapproachable. So fuck it.
Yeah.
Who cares? Apart from that, an Indian school official has apologised after a bizarre set of images went viral showing students wearing cardboard boxes on their heads. It was an anti-cheat system. Can't cheat if you've got a box on your head.
Can you write?
Yeah. Well, they got one of the faces cut out. It's like square-headed people.
So they can't.
They can't look at the other people's papers.
Oh, right.
Because they've got a box on there.
But they had to apologise for that?
Yeah, it's child abuse, I guess.
Is it?
It might be. Put this box on your head. And then you can pass. It was a chemistry test at Bhagat Pre-University College in Haveri, Karnataka state. Cut open on one side to prevent them from being able to copy other people's work. They apologised. School officials ran over to say, stop those kids with boxes on there. It's how you do, isn't it? I mean, you can wear whatever you want, probably in some schools. You couldn't in mine, but,
Yeah, I was at
can you wear a box?
Strict uniform.
Maybe wear a box. I don't know.
I think you were allowed to take, like...
Boxes.
I don't know about boxes, but you were allowed to take, like, little lucky... It's my lucky teddy. Could you help me pass my English exam? Like, that kind of thing. People had, like... I don't know, like...
This is my lucky lion.
Yeah. He's very lucky.
This is my lucky little fluffy version of Final Cut Pro. Let's try and get sponsored by Final Cut Pro. Fuck you!
No, seriously, we quite like you.
No, we don't. I like you. Apparently it was done with the students' consent, and in fact, many of them brought their own boxes. So they were like, it's apparently a trend, and they were like, this could be a good idea to stop kids from cheating. Just put cardboard over their face.
So the school had to apologise for allowing the kids to enact free will.
Well, yeah, but you'd probably get the same thing if they cut themselves, wouldn't you? You'd be like, well, school can apologise for giving the kids knives.
But those are two very different things.
Well, one is chemistry. I mean,
yeah. Could you not write on the inside of the box? Like,
have all the answers, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, people got really freaked. There was no compulsion of any kind. You could see There was no compulsion. Oh, they didn't force kids to do it. You can see in the photograph that some students weren't wearing it. Okay, so some who wore it removed it after 15 minutes.
Right.
Which feels about right. You're probably a bit more. I've been in this box for a while now.
So wait. So kids chose to wear the boxes. So they were like, I'm going to wear this box because otherwise I might cheat.
Yeah, then after 15 minutes, they're like, I'm going to cheat.
I admire the honesty.
I'm clammy, I'm sweaty.
No, don't trust me.
I smell like cardboard. Some took them off after 20 minutes, and then the teachers asked the students to remove them after an hour. And I think that kind of says how weird the situation is. They've been like, oh, it'd be a good idea. And then after an hour, even the adults are going, are they dead? Like, is this... I feel like this has gone bad.
Can they not see their faces?
From one angle. Like, from one direction they could. But it's walking around. Invigilators are weird people.
I don't have any problem with this whatsoever.
Kids wearing boxes.
Yeah.
Would you wear a box while you're driving a car to prevent you from looking at other cars?
Would I wear a box
Yeah.
in a situation where my peripheral vision was required so that I don't die? No, I wouldn't.
All right. What
But
about
when I'm writing
horses?
in an exam,
Horses got boxes on their face, kind of.
yeah, they have like the thing.
Periphery vision. You saying that a horse is a worse driver than a person?
I don't know what's going on.
You horse racist. School officials have said they ceased the practice and are cooperating with the school board's directive. Stop wearing boxes.
Why?
You'll die. You might die.
Kids had a choice.
Oh yeah, but
So-
you're still they're still kids and you have to have their decisions made for
It's
them.
not unsafe. It's not remotely
Oh, what's the difference between a box and a bag?
air.
One's got air, one's hasn't.
Yeah.
You could suffocate in a box.
If it's got a hole in it with your face sticking out of it, no, you couldn't.
What if there was another box? What if two kids collided and they just welded into the same box?
I think that's an amoeba, isn't it?
That kid's an amoeba. He's passed this chemistry test. It's fine. Okay, this article I love. A Portuguese doctor has been suspended after a baby was born without a face.
Why do people keep getting in trouble for things that aren't their fault?
So I think it was like the doctor that looks after the prenatal, I think.
Did he pull it out by the face?
He just forgot to get the face out. He got the rest of the baby out. I was like, I forgot the face. I'd be fine. Who needs a face?
Was it one of those situations like when you've got your sock and you're trying to pull your sock on and you
its
pull
face falls off?
Or you pull it too far in one direction and then the heel slips over the top of your foot?
Could
So
be.
has it got a face like on its back or something?
No, it's got no face. I think the argument is it was like the doctor that looks after you when you're pregnant, and he should have recognised that there was problems with the fetus.
Right, okay, so
I
not the
think
doctor that delivered it,
I don't know.
or well, potentially the same doctor.
Potentially, but yeah, the main thing
but
is he should have noticed warning
He should have
signs.
noticed, hang on, this baby's got no face. Yeah.
I'll go through it because I don't want to miss anything.
All right.
The parents of baby Rodrigo had not... classic name for a guy without a face, was been aware of their son's severe physical abnormalities, had not been aware of the abnormalities until he was born. Medical council officials have voted to suspend Dr. Artur Carvalho over allegations of negligence. It has emerged that other complaints dating back more than a decade have been made involving other babies. So this guy has also delivered other children without faces.
Jesus Christ.
I like the intuitiveness though. It's like he keeps on going. He's like, don't worry, he hasn't got a face, but let's do this. Like,
If you did it once, like, would
Yeah.
you not, like, would that not scar you enough?
Whoops, forgot the face.
Yeah. But is it a so it's a birth defect, right?
Yeah, there was problems in the fetus.
I didn't
growing
realise so many
stage.
babies got born without faces that it could happen to the same doctor twice.
Well, I don't know. I mean, is there a thing? I know that there was a thing ages ago about doctors or parents being given the option to abort based on the medical condition of the fetus.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's still a thing or whether that's changed in any way.
Well, over here you can get an abortion for anything.
Yeah. When I heard about it, it was like the whole super genes thing. Like they didn't want a blonde baby or whatever. That was the whole controversy when I was a kid. It was probably greatly exaggerated.
Yeah.
Dr. Carvalho has not commented on any of the allegations, and the BBC has been unable to reach him directly. So this baby was born on 7th of October. His mother had been under Dr. Carvalho's care for 3 ultrasound scans throughout her pregnancy at a private clinic, and the parents said the doctor raised no concerns about the fetus's health. The mother then reportedly had a 4th, more detailed, 5-dimensional, that's one that includes a face, ultrasound at a different clinic while 6 months pregnant. During that scan, the possibility of abnormalities was raised only for Dr. Carvalho to allegedly just dismiss the concerns.
Oh, right, okay.
So, she got a second opinion.
Yeah.
That doctor said, "Where's its face?" And the doctor said, "It's fine. Don't worry about it. I mean, it's not going to happen twice."
Yeah.
He explained that sometimes some parts of the face are not visible on ultrasounds, like when the baby's face is glued to the belly of the mother. Terminology. Belly? I've never heard of. Well, I guess doctors may say belly, but it's not in your stomach. The baby's not in your stomach or your digestion. Does it, when you're a fetus, do you get glued to the inside of your parent?
I hope not.
Yeah, it'd be hard to get out if you're glued by the face.
I didn't think you could. I didn't think any part of you could be stuck to the actual to the inside, the actual inside of your mother, because there's there's a sac around you, isn't there?
Yeah,
like an amniotic sac.
Yeah. So it sounds like he is completely bullshitting.
Right.
Oh, you can't see it because its face is all mushed into the belly. It's got no face. After Rodrigo's birth,
like a kid pressing its face up against a glass window,
licking a window. Oh, his face is gone. Unfortunately, when the baby was born and obviously didn't have a face, his parents were told it would only survive a few hours, but it survived more than 2 weeks on. It's just it's under hospital care. Amid outrage at baby Rodrigo's case, other complaints have come across against him. 6 medical complaints are currently open against him. Other parents have come forward to share their stories. In one case, a baby was born in 2011 with a facial disfigurement, deformed legs, and severe brain damage.
Jesus Christ.
Like I say, I can't remember what I said at the podcast, but there's idiots everywhere, in every field, in Final Cut Pro, in everywhere. There's idiots just dotted around, and you're going to get bad doctors who just been like, well, does it need a face? Yes. Should you tell the parents that their child has no face at the moment, and maybe it's an issue? Maybe there's something they can give to the mother to promote fetal development?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard of babies' lungs being given steroids to encourage growth. Can you do that with a face? Go. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. But he's got criminal complaints against him. The one who had no legs and brain damage is now aged 8, has had multiple operations, but still can't speak or walk. So if it's because of this doctor...
It's not a fun existence, is it?
No, it's just a shame. And fuck this doctor. And I think he should be, what did I say?
Well, I was born without a face, and now I'm a doctor, so everything works out fine.
Who needs faces?
Don't discriminate.
He has agreed to stop performing procedures while investigations continue. Good. Yeah. At least he's not... I can't remember what they call it when you're one way to one person and another way to another.
Two-faced.
At least he's not two-faced. It's barely one-faced. In other news, I love that article. I don't know why. Yeah. I like the idea that a baby gets born without a face and a doctor gets fired. Yeah, this guy is probably not a monster, but he's definitely incompetent. He's definitely fucked up stuff.
You can't be incompetent when it's people's health.
Yeah, you have to draw a line. Yeah. Be like, there's a reason why it takes so long to become a doctor. It's to kind of weed people like you out who don't care if their patients have faces on. In other lighter news, police say a woman who was angered when she was kicked out of a Las Vegas area casino intentionally drove her motorhome into the building, injuring a custodian. So someone who got kicked out of a casino decided to drive their house into it. That's a good reaction. Like I said, I think there's more justified violence in the world.
Yeah.
When points where you can be rude to people, and I think you just have to accept that, you shouldn't be mean to people or drive your houses into people. But there's certain circumstances where it's like, no, this is a healthy expression of your rage.
Yeah.
And you're justified in doing this. Yes, you should go back and apologise after you've ran over that custodian, but you'd be like, no, it was justified. I don't know whether she was justified, but...
Yeah, well, I don't know. I like those, random acts of... Well, they're not random. I like those very purposeful, thought-out acts of extreme violence and
like, yeah.
destruction. Like that guy that we covered last year, maybe the year before, who was working on a building and the foreman didn't pay him, so he drove his digger through the building that he built. It's like, I'm all behind this.
Yeah.
I'm all for this.
I mean, stuff like cold callers.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you can tell them to go fuck themselves. You could be as rude as you want to them.
Yeah.
They phoned you.
Yeah.
Why have you phoned me? You know I'm a prick. Like, just like...
Isn't that in my file?
Put it in my file for future reference. But I've had... I hate cold callers. Especially ones... My new favourite hate, I think I mentioned it before, is because it's called by a machine. Like, they just... And when you pick up, like, the caller gets a green light and they have to, like, okay, I'll accept this.
Yeah.
There's, like, 3 seconds before there's any speech. And in those 3 seconds, if I hear that that's the case, you can hear, like, the hello... Nothing. Hello? Nothing.
Yeah.
It's going to a massive tirade rant about how much you hate this person who's calling you.
Yeah.
And they can't argue with you. And it's just like, that feels good. That feels justified.
Yeah. No, I think that's perfectly
And I think
fine.
there's got to be more of those cases in the world where you can just be like, yeah, I can just properly unleash on people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good for people.
I'm all behind that.
Las Vegas police spokesman Eric Leavitt says the 50-year-old woman was ejected from the casino Friday morning and drove her motorhome into the building. Hit a 66-year-old custodian worker who was outside, who was critically injured, but is expected to survive. Overreaction. I'll argue that.
I'm not sure about
running
dragging
over
innocent people into this. Like,
yeah, don't run over an old elderly custodian worker.
no.
But hit the casino as hard as you want.
Yeah, yeah. Well, why was she ejected?
I don't know. Probably for being drunk.
Yeah.
She was kicked out of a casino. It takes a lot for a casino to kick you out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I imagine she was being aggressive. We'll put it that way. In other news, another story that I kind of like. I was going to make a video for it, but I didn't know if we had the screen. We need to sort that out.
No.
This ties into what I was speaking before about you need to slowly open up yourself to vulnerability the more you find something that you want to be vulnerable with.
Right.
Right? I don't understand. I mean, like, but you celebrate your birthday?
Yeah.
Get a cake?
No.
No, it's too... it's too
For yourself?
You know what I mean? Or you got, like, family, haven't you?
Yeah.
Have a cake with your family.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Your wife. Oh, let's have a cake.
Yeah.
I can't do that. And I think once you have kids, you can't really say no cake for the kids.
Yeah,
you have to be like, no, you have to. It's part of my life now.
Do the thing.
But people have started doing gender reveal parties.
I hate that shit.
I don't understand
I fucking hate that shit.
I thought you might. I've always found this to be a weird Instagram-y event that people just want to do.
It's just right. There's 3. Wait, no, that might be wrong. How many billion of us are there? 7 billion people
billion,
in the
I think.
world. Your child is very special to you. So, like, the whole pomp and circumstance around the reveal of whether it's going to be a little boy or a little girl is of no consequence or interest to anybody except you.
Well,
And
about everything, right?
But yeah, and people putting their fucking scans all over the internet. It's like, I don't want to see the inside of your fucking uterus.
We'll take it.
Like, I'll come and shake its hand once it's born.
Well done for surviving the scan. Where's your face?
It's just, God, I don't know. I'm not a parent, so I cannot speak from like experience. So like, fair enough. I'm coming from a place of complete ignorance, and I will own up and accept that. But your kid is not important to anyone but you.
Take it this way, right? You had a wedding.
Yeah.
You had a photographer at the wedding.
Yes.
You didn't upload your wedding photos.
No.
Yeah. And I think that's the same kind of thing, right? Where you go like, it was a special day for us. Yes, you could put your photos online to share it with everybody, but you're like, that was our day.
Yeah.
We don't care what other people
It's something that we paid for so that we could look back on it.
Yeah. And you go like, and there's no argument for not uploading it, apart from you go like, I don't want to share this with everybody. You don't have to share everything with everybody.
No.
And especially when they're going to figure out that your baby's alive, has a face, and is a gender.
Yeah.
You go like, you don't have to fire colour into the sky.
Well, it's just how desperate are you for people to give a fuck?
Yeah. Because it's...
Why is it not...
It's good to celebrate. It's good to get everyone together. It's good to do this.
It should be enough. Your baby should be
Yeah.
enough. That your baby should be special enough to you for you to just enjoy that, but it's not. Your child is not special enough for you. You have to have everybody else's eyes on you at the same time, and that's your fucking problem.
And it's short term, right? People are only going to care about a gender reveal video for the day or day after. It's not going to be like 6 years down the line.
one's
People
gonna
are going
give
to
a
look at
fuck.
the gender reveal video.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
a lot
think
of ways.
it might be something that you put away for your kid to look at. This is when we find out what you were. Like,
I decided to exploit that fact.
yeah, with cake.
But yeah, a lot of the way people do this is they have like clouds of blue smoke if it's a boy,
Right,
or
yeah.
like confetti. This one, they decided, yeah, we want to do a gender reveal party, but we don't want to bother professionals or anything like that. They accidentally created a pipe bomb, which killed a 56-year-old woman.
Out with the old.
Oh, everyone, it's a... Oh, where's Grandma? Where's her face gone? The Marion
God.
County Sheriff's Office said Pamela Krymeyer died instantly when debris struck her head Saturday before flying another 432 feet and landing in a nearby field. Her head? Or the debris? The debris. I guess.
not her. How big was the
Gender
firework?
revealed. Landing in a nearby field flying another 132 meters, 432 feet, and landing in a nearby field in Knoxville, about 35 miles south of Des Moines. Okay. She was 14 meters away from the device when it exploded. That's pretty far. For a firework, if you have like a rocket firework, 14 meters feels enough.
Yeah, well,
I've been
it's
much
like-
closer and lost my hearing once.
It's like
pretty good.
three quarters of a swimming pool or something.
Well, you know, and again, it's good to homemade over professional stuff. Family members have been experimenting with explosives in the hope of posting a colourful announcement on social media. Authorities said.
We're having a baby. Let's experiment with explosives.
They welded a metal cylinder to a stand and packed it with gunpowder that they thought would send the coloured baby powder aloft. Instead, it sent, what was her name? Pamela to the grave.
Oh God.
Authorities said they covered the top with tape, which caused it to detonate like a pipe bomb.
Oh.
So just all the pressure couldn't get
Just
out.
shrapnel.
Just
Wow. Christ. But was it a boy or was it a girl?
that's the tragedy. They don't go into it. She died for nothing. This family got together for what they thought was going to be a happy event with no intent for anyone to get hurt. They were playing with explosives. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's potentially going to get hurt. What ended up happening was that Pamela Krymeyer, a wife, mother, and grandmother, was killed by a piece of metal, where a metal stand, gunpowder, and coloured powder were involved. This is a reminder that anytime someone mixes these things, there's a high potential for serious injury or death. Yeah. If you start pissing about with gunpowder around your baby and your loved ones, yeah, you're going to get fucked. Using explosives to reveal a baby's gender is rare, but a similar incident caused a major wildfire in Arizona in 2017. We covered that one, I think, when that happened. Oh, the woods are gone.
Oh God.
The fucking pipe bomb.
And in the baby's wake, flames. Like, I think that's
Yeah,
like the
born
story
from
of Diablo
flames.
or something, isn't it?
Yeah, so, I mean, that's hard. I'm trying not to be against people celebrating. Like gender reveal, it's fine. And again, gunpowder, go for it. It's
That's the
great.
thing, it
But just
just-
accept that you might blow up your family.
Yeah.
That's the thing I draw the line at. Is free to do whatever you want, but you have to accept that what you're doing is dangerous.
Yeah.
And be like, I have to take responsibility for this.
Yeah.
The parents obviously have to go to prison, right?
Yeah.
Or whichever parent. If it was a surprise, that would be hilarious. But like, yeah, building fucking gunpowder. I mean, this was south of Des Moines, so that's like kind of middle of the country, I think. I don't know whether gunpowder is more widely used over there. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
In Middle America, I mean. So yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
why not reveal the gender with gunpowder?
I try not to be too bitter. Like I don't know how much of that stuff I actually mean, but I know that there's something deep within me that's just like I find it
it's what I'm saying.
distasteful.
It's the you haven't opened up that vulnerability.
Yeah.
Or at some point you and I have
No,
closed that
they haven't
vulnerability.
even got the kid.
We haven't even got a grandmother anymore. But yeah, it's there's that thing of seeing other people being too vulnerable. I've said it before.
Yeah.
The joke is that's why I make my bed with a machete, is because when I see other people doing it, there's part of me that goes, it's not safe.
Yeah.
It just can't really relax around it. And I've seen people like openly seeking comfort from their partner in public, because I've been in like a hospital waiting room and someone's like falling down some stairs, and it's been like, you can't do that, mate, like you're going to get attacked by the demons.
Yeah.
And they're all just my subconscious gorilla demons or whatever that are rolling around. But I think over time you just become more and more soft.
Yeah.
Because hopefully more and more good things will come into your life.
I guess I think it comes from like giving up a good chunk of my life at a young age to an attention-seeking whore. And like,
Oh, you know, that's the same thing. Yeah, there's definitely a thing where we closed off a lot of stuff.
and I'm just like anything like that now. I'm just like, nobody needs that attention unless you're a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah, unless you're doing it to try and massage an ego or try and
because it's not for the
convince
baby.
yourself you're good.
There's no part of that is for the baby, and to pretend that it is. If you're going to be honest and say like this is for us, we need this right now for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Then okay, it's just not for me. And another thing is it just reeks of American. I've got nothing against the Americans, but for some reason
Gender reveal parties.
Yeah, but for some reason we've just been taking on all of the kind of lavish, open social culture of it, and that part of it just doesn't speak to my identity, whatever the fuck
it feels
that is.
disingenuous.
Yeah,
is the thing. Is it feels like you're only doing this for the views, or you're only doing this to make yourself look forward thinking or whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone's got, I feel the same thing about a lot of stuff that you do, but like that our friends groups does. Because I'm the same thing about like coffee. It's like, why are you making this coffee? Because it brings me joy. It's coffee, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying what you're doing is wrong. It's just the same intentional reaction of like, don't open yourself vulnerable to coffee. Coffee's going to betray you, and things are going to go bad.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a warped human being, and it's just. Yeah, you're doing something that could be potentially good, but I think the assumption is that you're doing this for illegitimate reasons. If you're celebrating the fact that you got babies, great. You're pregnant, hooray, have a party. If you're celebrating that it's a boy or a girl, okay, fair enough. If you're celebrating that you want to tell the world what gender your baby is, okay. Why not tell us its eye colour as well? And why not tell us this as well?
But
it just
why
feels
does
like
it
a big
matter, and
spectacle.
whose business is that except yours?
Do you remember? It's probably like a corporate advertisement. It's what it feels like, right? You'd get that for like Toyota. We've got a new blue car, blue, and it's like hooray! It's like, you're
great.
We know you're
Another
pregnant.
one.
Or maybe it's a pregnancy announcement video. Maybe that's what it is. But even then, don't do a video. Again, just tell the people that you care about.
Yeah.
But we're antisocial bastards. So Could just be the same thing.
Celebrate a part of it, but do it with dignity.
Well, I mean, I used to do 60 photos of an evening that we would do.
Yeah.
Of like, we'd go costume nightclub or whatever, and there'd be about, on average, 60 photos, because that was the Facebook limit at the time or whatever. So I just albums of 60 then, and there'd be like 60 photos, and they'd kind of all be the kind of same thing, right? People having a good time, Steve having a bad time, and then just
sounds about right.
Just that was our night. And who am I telling it for? I was doing it to document just for us.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it to get into a paper or anything like that.
No. Did get you in for free though.
Yeah, I did become a photographer for a few events. A photographer. There's like we'd
Go with the camera.
You're on the list.
It worked.
Cool. Yeah. And lastly, from me, I believe, yes, a Houston man has been charged with murder in his wife's death after admitting to shooting her, but contends that he isn't fully responsible because he was sleepwalking at the time. I was asleep.
So, how did he kill her?
Shot her 5 times.
Asleep.
Yeah, sleep. Oh,
So he got
asleep.
a bad case of the Pistorius. Was that Oscar Pistorius that did that?
I don't think he said he was asleep. But yeah, he shot it through the door because he thought it was a burglar.
Yeah.
On the day of her death, he called his son just before noon and told him he'd shot his wife. Houston police said she'd been shot 6 times, including in the head and the back. The weapon was recovered, but he later told police he thought he was dreaming when he shot his wife of 35 years. I thought it was all a beautiful dream.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, ba-bang, ba-bang.
It was a pleasant night.
Now his lawyers are presenting a sleepwalker defence in court, telling the jury that Lazarin did not purposefully kill his wife, and a medical condition is to blame. Is sleeping a medical condition? Is sleepwalking a medical condition?
Yes.
It's a medical condition?
In as much as like restless leg syndrome is a medical condition.
I never understood that. I just massaged my legs and then it went away.
I don't know. I never
I
had
might
it.
not have had it.
No.
But yeah, I used to think it was like people like always moving their legs. But I think it's just like aching legs.
Sleepwalking's definitely it's a medical abnormality. I suppose it's a condition.
Is coughing a medical condition? I guess coughing's a medical condition. If coughing is, walking is, right?
Yeah. I've done it a few times.
I decree! I haven't used that in a while. Coughing is the same as walking.
Coughing?
Yeah, if coughing's a medical condition, then
right,
walking's a medical... Sleepwalking's a medical condition.
Yeah. I've done it a couple of times.
Sleepwalked.
Yeah, but I was heavily inebriated. It was at points of high intoxication and high stress. Those
I was drunk and stressed.
stress in my life, and at 2 completely separate occasions in 2 different years. So
Right.
that seems to be like a trigger for me to, I don't know, walk around. But
Stress and apple teenies.
yeah, but I have, I know people that do it or apparently do it. But I'd say it's an abnormality, and I'd say that there are certain things that you could do in your sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'm not saying it's a bad defense.
I mean,
but
some
it's
people
definitely
have
an
like
interesting defense.
those like waking dream things where they're like dreaming, but they're like wide awake and enacting out their dreams. So they could be defending themselves against whoever's in front of them. I've had. Have you had sleep paralysis before?
No.
I used to get that while I was in
We've
uni,
got a friend who's got it as well.
and it's
now.
fucking strange. So it's like
It's like you wake up and you just can't move.
you wake up sort of. So your eyes are open and you can see what's in front of you, but you cannot move. Like there's because your body is still throwing signals that you're still asleep. However, your brain is only sort of half awake. So for me, I was enacting out things in my head, just really mundane things like, oh, I'm awake, I'll get up and go to the bathroom because I need to pee or whatever. And I would get up and get halfway down the hall and I'd be in bed again because your brain is like 5 steps ahead of you. And it was
you'd
just
imagine going.
and it's and it would take me a few minutes to realize what was happening, and then I would wake up.
I've heard that's a thing with when your house is on fire, like the smoke causes that
Oh, really?
as well. Yeah, so you're like too much CO2 or whatever. So maybe you need a boiler service or
As
something.
well, I was at uni, so potentially, yeah.
Yeah, we lived in asbestos places. Yeah, no, we've got a friend who does that as well. Like when he wakes up, it takes him a while to breathe.
I think you're always meant to breathe.
No, but like he can't breathe.
Oh.
He just wakes up in that similar position. He
Jeez.
can't take a breath, and then just at some point, and he's awake.
Christ.
So I don't know whether that's how stress or appletini's.
That's not fun.
It could be craft beers.
Yeah.
Who knows? Our position over here is that it was a dream. Well, it wasn't a dream. You shot your wife.
She's dead. Yeah. She is dead.
And it wasn't voluntary. I understand that it's not voluntary if you're asleep, right? You can't be held accountable for the things you've done while you're asleep. It's not voluntary. And, yeah. It's a weird thing. I definitely sympathise with it, as in, it could very well have been sleepwalking.
If it's real, it's horrible. Like, being that guy.
Wake up from sleep to find you've murdered your wife.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm sure I'm sure I've heard about things like this before, where they've definitely been real situations.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. It's akin to that that guy that went to work with his kids in the car in the summer.
Yeah,
It's just that kind of horror.
Yeah. Well, like I said, everyone's made mistakes.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of one, and I swear I could have nearly killed a friend of mine when I was a kid. We were playing Home Alone, and I dropped a boulder on his head.
Oh.
We were like making traps out of rope. I just couldn't hold on to it. This big board just fell on his head, cracked his
Jesus.
skull. He had to get it glued.
Oh,
Example, another, and I've
Yeah,
been in
that
car
could have ended really
accidents,
badly.
been in fights.
but like it's the thing. You get
Just
into
go
fights
like-
when you're kids, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
The kid falls over wrong. He could be dead, but you don't have that in your mind, really.
Yeah, there was a thing at our uni where a girl's boyfriend tried to break up a fight in front of a kebab shop and got pushed. He fell back and his head landed on the curb. He was in a coma and passed away.
Wow.
So that whole thing, I really
I
do
didn't know
believe
that.
it. It's just, I don't remember who it was, but it was in our first year, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, it was crazy. The amount of things that could easily go wrong in everybody's life that would change them forever.
Yeah.
And I think we just go, it doesn't happen to us. You go, no, if you think about it, it took me a while to remember that. And it was like, if you think about it, there's loads of situations that could have gone absolutely terrible. And unfortunately, sometimes this is. I mean, you can debate about this, about whether he should have had a gun readily, unconsciously available. But it's different laws in different places, and there's no reason to think he was going to have a sleepwalk and murder somebody.
The gun thing is weird. Like because I don't think I would have one in the house. But if you do have one in the house and you have it there for protection, I understand why it's loaded. Like I don't get this whole, well, you put this over here and then you put the bullets over here and then you put the thing over here, because it's like, well, that's useless in an emergency in that situation.
Well, you should just lure them into the house and then defeat them in honourable hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, mano a mano.
Yeah, if I had a gun, I just think that would just increase the likelihood of me using it. And I go like, oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, 100%.
There are circumstances where you would probably want to use a gun.
Yeah.
But
I've got a bat.
another one of those things.
I don't need to do anything with
You've got
that.
an axe hammer. Or
Um,
have you gotten rid of that now?
oh, no, it's not in the house anymore. No, don't trust myself with that in case I start sleepwalking. Just like take out the fridge.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't tell me where it was either. Implying that he was just like, I might have to defend myself against Nick one day. Need all the advantages I
Yeah.
get.
But no, I keep a bat in the house, like, and I know where it is, and it's to hand pretty quickly. But
Have you ever broken into a house before? No. I did something,
like your own house?
or whatever, like where people thought there was a burglar and it was actually you.
No.
I had that because it was kind of bittersweet, right? Because this was back when my family dog needed to be put down.
Right.
And I was coming down for the event, and I picked up my brother from uni on the way, and it was a surprise. So I didn't want to tell my parents that I was bringing my little brother, and we've got keys to the house. We just came in. They thought we were burglars. Oh, it's like, no, we're here to watch the dog die. But like, yeah, the weird energy in the air, because like, yeah, if you get that, once you get that adrenaline pumping, it's like, doo, 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 there's nothing you can do. So yeah, parents were like, what the fuck? Anyway, we've had him evaluated, and obviously the experts are going to come by and say, hey, we think he suffers from a medical condition where it's involuntary. It's a very confident defense lawyer. They're going to come along and say, hey, he's obviously got a medical condition. He mentioned something, the FBI, or the homicide detective, who was one of the initial investigators, said he mentioned something when he was there that was more of an off-the-wall comment about, this is like a dream I wish I could wake up from. Say nightmare, mate. It showed some regret.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, he says he's not sure
Just
if it was sleepwalking or
bad
whatever.
role-playing
The guy
skills.
was on psychiatrist medication for over a decade and mixed it with alcohol. So there could be some kind of psychoactive thing in
Right.
there. And he said he took the medication that day, so he wasn't off his meds, but could have mixed
Yeah.
it with alcohol, could have whatever. Again, it's been an unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
You could imagine any sleepwalking event. I mean, Mike Birbiglia is famous for incredibly brilliant sleepwalking
Well,
parts.
the two times that I've done it, I was fucking terrified. Because Vix was there with me, and I was just like, I have no recollection of what's happened. I have no idea what I could have done.
Yeah.
Like, none.
Yeah.
Like I was absolutely terrified. Not of myself. Like it's that thing of like being out of control, I guess.
I've had that when I've blacked out. I've had him like I drank a lot, and then the next morning I genuinely don't remember a lot of it. And I remember like a little bit here and there, and a little bit here and there, and there's just stuff I don't know. I just had no idea, and
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a weird feeling. That's what I don't drink very much, so maybe people go through that all the time. But I was like, no, I was in a compromised position at this time of night. could have spoken to somebody, could have insulted someone. I remember making fun of someone because they were Polish. It was an in-joke between us.
Yeah.
But I remember being drunk and saying that too much. And I was like, oh, I could have... What, you know... We were friends and we chatted about it afterwards, but I was just like, there's this weird moment of I have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
And I have no accountability for it. So, well, obviously accountability, but I can't understand for it. But anyway, so that guy shot his wife in his sleep. That's that's the conclusion to that story.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Moment of silence for her.
Hopefully she was asleep,
Yeah.
I guess.
All right.
Steve's collection of useless meanderings. Scum.
In 1985, there were 1895.
Oh.
That would have been weird. In 1895, there were only 2 cars in the entire state of Ohio, but they still managed to crash into each other.
What are the chances?
Get out of the road!
I guess what else could you have crashed into, really? Like it's a building, a
Tree?
person.
For something entirely more common?
Well, I reckon they probably weren't like roads.
No.
So you
And
probably
they probably knew each other. Oh, you're the guy. So
Well, it was like
maybe they were racing.
one
or something.
car behind a horse and the other one couldn't brake in time. I guess cars would be with other cars.
But there's 2 in the whole state.
Yeah. It's one of those things of don't think about it, and then you think about
And then
it
you
and
think
it
about
happens.
it. Yeah.
The more you think don't fall, you're going to fall more. That was a whole tightrope thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well,
If you think negatively, so as in don't fall,
Yeah.
you will fall. Your brain will think about falling.
Yeah, I was watching that. I was watching a Rogan video of him reacting to people at heights just because it's funny.
Oh, yeah. Like the
those
free climbers and
fucking
stuff.
Russian guys on the buildings, like it's nuts. And he was talking to the guy that was on, and they were like, you could put like a walkway in your garden and walk across it, and you'd be absolutely fine, and you would cross it every single time without falling, and with no problem, with absolute ease. And as soon as you put that thing at height, you would be all over the fucking place because you're so worried about falling that it just it almost becomes inevitable.
It's the fear that you want to jump. That's why, like, when you go near cliff faces, you get that weird vertigo feeling.
Yeah.
Apparently, well, I can't remember how truthful it is or how theorized it is, but it's you want to jump. Your instinct is to jump, and that scares you, and so you think like, oh, don't. Like you're fighting yourself.
Yeah.
At that point. But Darren Brown did a test experimental thing with like tightrope walkers and stuff like that, and getting them to the power of negative thinking or whatever it was. And it was, if you try not to think about something, you inevitably think about it. Whereas if you just think positively, you don't think about the negative. By thinking about the negative, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So tightrope walkers and all these high-rise walkers and that, they're not thinking, oh my God, don't fall. Oh my God, don't do this. They're thinking like, everything's fine. Yep, just keep walking. Just keep on going. Everything's fine. Yeah. And it's just that subtle difference in thought changes how your body is in control. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So by not thinking, don't crash into that car that's 200 miles away.
He drives 200 miles and smashes straight into it. There is a holiday called Buy Nothing Day.
Invented by a legend.
This year
Just
it's on
nothing.
This year it's on November 29th. It's an international day of protest against consumerism and Black Friday. Participants wander around shopping malls or other consumer havens with a blank stare.
There was a thing about this as well this week about peaceful protests.
Yeah.
There's again, I don't know how real this is. I just saw it on somebody post a bunch of stuff about people have started. I think in Turkey, there was a protest that was started entirely peaceful, just people not saying anything and just standing still. And that was enough to convey a message of they're trying to communicate something. They're obviously protesting something. They're not being aggressive in any way. They're not even saying anything aggressive or holding up signs. They're just protesting here.
Yeah.
And people are just listening. So I guess it's kind of the same idea, right?
That's
of just
interesting.
like, instead of not buying anything,
Just walking around the mall.
Yeah, just go all Day of the Dead. Just don't buy anything.
I'd participate in that. I always hate these fucking Black Friday
But
things.
you do it to piss off the people who work there, right? Or just to freak them out.
Yeah.
Just actively not answering their questions.
Yeah. Can we help you
with anything? No.
Yeah. Do you know what day it is?
It's nothing. Could work.
Yeah.
Consumerism, though. I don't know.
Yeah. I think if you need something, buy it. If you're just getting it because it's at a good price, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, there is a thing of people that they're trying to fill a hole, I think. Even if it's a procrastination hole of like, once I buy this, then I can start dealing with my life. Or like, once I've ran out of cigarettes, then I'll stop smoking.
Yeah, but even on a simple level, like you and me have both had that. Like, oh, if I buy this pad, then this pad, I can write down all this stuff and it solves everything.
Yeah,
and we've just got loads of blank pads.
It's definitely a real thing. So I think maybe you can argue like against that, but that's not really. That's not really. Is that consumerism? Thinking if I buy this, then I can do X. I guess it is.
Maybe
I won't be happy unless I have a Ford Fiesta.
That's the thing. I associated consumerism with sort of the associating
Showing off stuff.
Of products with status.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think, and I might be wrong, maybe I'm out of the loop, but I've always thought that our generation is kind of out of that because we've gotten so entrenched, not in a good way, but it's because we've gotten so entrenched in social media stuff that our consumerism has become experiences because we can share them.
Well, I think there's
like online.
Still a bit of
look what I'm doing, look what I've done.
Like I say, you've opened yourself vulnerable up to coffee, right? And when you bought a gooseneck coffee pot,
I didn't put a picture of it on Instagram.
No, but you buying that, and it's that weird line between you do need to buy things. You can't just craft everything yourself. But by buying it, you do get that feeling of now things are going to be different. And maybe
I didn't think it was going to fix my life.
No, but you thought I'm going to have better coffee now. Do you know what I mean? There's some kind of
by
buying
this is going to improve the experience that I already enjoy. Yeah,
and it's that weird line between maybe it doesn't, but maybe it will improve the quality of your coffee. But like, there's the thing of like, this new me, I'm new me. Can put on my autumn clothes or whatever it is. Yeah, buying a new wardrobe is because consumerism. I think. And I guess more diluted than that is starting a trend within yourself by buying something. Yeah. Consumerism.
The first episode of ABC TV show Turn On, which debuted in February 1969, was so bad. One affiliate refused to return to it after the commercial break. Several West Coast affiliates refused to air the show at all, and before the first episode had finished playing, it was cancelled.
So what that basically means is, while the episode was on national television, it slowly dropped out of existence. And didn't even get to the end credits. And people just decided, no.
It was cancelled while it was on.
They went to a commercial break and it was dropped. Then it was dropped again by more people, and slowly it didn't exist.
Yeah.
That's so good.
That's a good bar for us to aim for.
It's a good story. If that was your project,
you'd
be like, oh, Uncle Gary, he was in charge of Turn On. It was his life's work, his passion.
You'd never work again, but you got a story.
It started, it never ended, but it's over. He's a complex guy, Gary. Yeah, it's a weird industry.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, you wouldn't expect it to just not exist anymore.
Yeah, I want to look into it because I don't know what that show is about, and I would actually quite like to watch it.
Let's do a commentary
I'm
video.
I'm sure we could watch it in some way.
Maybe. Unless it actually originally dissolved. Maybe it completely dissolved.
Oh, there'll be a bootleg tape somewhere.
Turn On.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be good.
Yeah. Quick one of these.
Yeah.
Did you know this thing about bees?
Bit too long, but I still like it.
Yes.
When a male honeybee climaxes during sex, his testicles explode and he dies.
away. Oh no. Dead.
Daddy, where do bees come from?
Well, they explode.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not Daddy, I'm Mummy. And that's because Daddy exploded.
Did we ever? We didn't. I didn't look it up. To see
About
female bees.
bee gender. So, surprisingly,
Pipe bomb.
redaction. Pipe bomb.
Redaction. Okay.
Yeah. All worker bees are female.
Okay.
All of them. The male bees are all drones. I don't know what drones do. I just know that's what they are. And queen bees are the only bees that are sexually mature. So it's the same larvae for any bee, for any male, for any female bee.
Yeah.
And the female bees to be queens are chosen at random. And they're given the special honey or whatever, and they grow into queens. The rest of the females become workers.
Okay. So, with the queen only being the sexually mature one, the drones explode on the queen bees.
I guess that's what it is. Yeah, I
and
guess
not the worker bees.
Yeah. So the worker bees are female, but they are not sexually mature, so they're not capable of reproducing.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, very bittersweet.
Yeah.
Testosterone again, fucking over the bees.
Yeah. Testicles explode.
Ugh. Been bitten in the testicles once by a dog.
Yeah,
That was a rough Christmas. Genuinely. It's around Christmas.
I think you told me about that. Was it like a Jack Russell or something?
It was
Some
a
kind of small
Cocker
one.
Spaniel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was another weird phase of my life. But yeah, I stepped over this family member's Cocker Spaniel, and it thought I was coming to steal its dog food. So it just went, right, bit me right in the balls.
Oh.
I just had to go to,
Stitches?
I can't remember. I remember being in the office
Yeah.
of the nurse or whatever was looking at me, or the doctor.
Right.
Vaguely, but I don't remember anything else. Don't remember having stitches, but I
Yeah.
remember them sewing something. Maybe it was like dissolvable turn-on stitches or whatever it is. But yeah, I think that changes your... That could be a reason why I'm paranoid.
What's happened here? Have you been fucking any bees?
I got a recorder for Christmas. That made it all better.
Oh, right.
It was Christmas time. Yeah,
Yeah.
my first. Make it worse. It was my first Christmas.
A recorder. Well, you've got no testicles anymore. You'll be needing this.
I think it was my first Christmas in the UK. I
Yeah.
think. So it was like, because I grew up abroad. So it
Right.
came over to the UK. Hooray, British life. Life will bite you in the balls, young man. Waddle out of Christmas. Yeah, so I know a bit of ball pain. Have you ever had testicular torsion?
I think I've had sort of a spasm of it, but nothing
Yeah.
I've had to get seen to.
Yeah, I've never been seen, but I've had it every now and then, and it's just like tubes. I think overlapping. I've woken up sometimes, just been like, "Ugh!"
Yeah.
Fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But we had a friend at uni who suffered from it a lot for like a long period. It's just like, change your perspective, make you feel like a bee. And then bees live a really short time, right?
I don't know. I don't know the lifespan of a
I
bee.
think it's less than a year.
Well, I assume
believe
it.
so.
Yeah, I'd assume it was like a season.
Yeah, I think, and it can be as short as like a month or a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
depending on the type of bee. I think we covered it a while ago. So does that mean that the amount of time experiencing your testicles explode is longer by comparison? I don't know.
Oh, right. Okay, like
With a shortened lifespan, is your
very
experience
much
of it
like
grow?
dog years. What is testicular explosion in bee years?
Bee years, yeah.
Yeah.
Painful, I think.
Yeah.
Worth it though, I guess.
Is it?
Must be.
That's
for
the
the
thing.
bee.
Like other creatures. Oh, excuse me. Other creatures or simpler animals don't seem to require a reward system in place to cause them to reproduce.
Yes, it's
like-
the hormone pump.
Yeah.
Like dogs go into season. It's like fucking.
Like an orgasm is a reward system for us. But for most animals, it's like now we have sex.
Yeah.
Now we find food. Like it's just that programmed response.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because there's more rejection. I mean, I checked out Tom Segura's Instagram after the show, and he posted a video a while ago of like two horses people were trying to mate, and when they're hormonal and want to in mating season, the horses get really aggressive. And this mare they brought over just drop kicked this horse in the face. Just wham! Horse died within seconds. And the owners are like, we thought we'd get another horse out of this. Instead, we're down one horse. So I think there's rejection in a lot of the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
But I think probably our mating structure is ideally more complex
Yeah.
than, insects and stuff like that. And animals. Not necessarily, but I think the idea is for it to be more complex so that you choose a more close to you partner. Or you just get drunk and black out and wake up as a father.
Yeah.
Still a weird fear of mine. To wake up and then have to be vulnerable all the time.
And finally, sperm whale sounds are so loud when underwater that they can burst your eardrums or vibrate you to death. For reference, eardrums burst at about 150 decibels. A jet engine at 100 feet away, fully going, is about 140 decibels. And a sperm whale's call underwater is 230 decibels. Vibrate to death.
And people listen to this to make them fall asleep. Oh, this is some whale song. Oh, isn't this relaxing? Some guy vibrating to death, holding a microphone to the whale. They're pretty big though.
They're huge.
Pretty big.
Yeah, and it's just like
Wouldn't
the
be
head is just cavernous, like just a big echo chamber.
Yeah, and like we've heard drunks on karaoke night singing pretty loudly.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah,
and
that's
all
been
that,
that's been pretty rough.
Yeah.
I mean, if a whale did it, I'm pretty sure you'd vibrate to death. So I guess it's kind of to be expected.
Yeah.
Weird way to figure that out though. Hey, look, son, a blue whale. Say hi, hi.
So apparently that like in the article it says a diver a diver put his he like it was there was a call and he put his hands over his ears or I think it was that over his ears to protect his ears and it broke his hands. Like it said it shattered his hand.
That's so weird.
That's nuts.
I saw a weird random YouTube video from a TV show in America called When Pilots Eject. And it was just a little segment about... It's a weird show.
Watching this shit.
It was just on my highlights. I was I'll give that a go. And it was a guy, and it was in like a F-16 or whatever, plane going at speed of sound, and the plane stopped working, so they had to eject. And they were ejecting so fast, because they were at the speed of sound, as soon as they got out, like... they got wrecked. Like he said, his legs were being held on by arteries because like just the force of the wind just broke all of his bones. He had one working arm, the other one was bent the other way. I think his shin was gone in his other leg, and he was just like hanging onto the dinghy that was part of the eject chair. Like he managed to get himself in and survived. The other guy just died instantly. But yeah, he burst all the blood vessels in his face.
Christ,
Just like that's just the wind. It's just wind. So I guess wind and whale, probably similar to being sang at by a whale.
Yeah, I always wanted to go like whale watching, and I thought it'd be interesting to be in the water next to one of these massive things. But it's just like I'm not sure I want that. I don't want to be shattered.
I don't want to be vibrated to death.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about how like it's an interesting way to die that I don't think has really been covered in a lot of places, and I was wondering how you might use that in popular culture. So I came up with something.
With sorry, this is vibrating to death.
Vibrating to death, but specifically with the whales.
We're from Wales. Okay.
Yeah.
Torture me all you want. I'll never talk. Fine. No talking, no living.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to do this. We have hope for a spring release. It does better in the charts, but nonetheless, may I present to you Whale!
Oh my god, it's Whale. Whale, like Madonna, Sting, whale. Put it on a shirt, a somewhat revealing pose. Whale. Oh, the kids will love it. I mean, not all of them. Most of them will be dead.
Yeah, Bond villain using a whale. Like, I thought it could. It could work quite well.
Yeah, sing at them to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. That's cool. I didn't pick up on the Bond villain. I got there was like evil torturing thing.
Yeah.
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 I expect you to vibrate.
But yeah, that's all for me this week.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so was it been a productive week? I don't know. I went to see a show. That's productive.
Yeah, we've been out. We left the house.
This is true.
Killed a guy with a whale.
There's only so much you can do in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think starting to feel the productive genes start to activate again. I think we'll see after I've got I had to catch up with a bunch of stuff, but I think getting there to now and be like, okay, I think everything's evening out, and then could go off and do some weird stuff. Yeah, some interesting stuff. Is there anything productive? Well, I mean, we dropped kind of Minute Month a little while ago to pick it back up, but just been way too busy. Yeah. But potentially could pick that back up. Is there anything creative that you want to do?
I don't know. I'm just dipping my toe back into the audio stuff at the minute. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't want to make promises at the minute.
I don't want to promise.
Yeah.
Like brainstorm in terms of, yeah, be interesting to figure out if there's something new to do. I don't know. Keep a tab on it. Yeah. So what I mean by like just doing one thing every day, just be like, at least that's a productive thing. That's something that's moved, even if it's an inch forward. Yeah. Stops you from falling back or just holding the line. Just be like, no, just move forward a little bit. Even if it's fucking, I don't know, combing your hair. Is that a thing?
Not for us.
You meant to comb your beard.
I do that.
And it's hair, isn't it?
I don't know. It doesn't feel the same. Maybe it is.
Well, I'm at Nick Snip.
At Sing It Steve.
We're at Pulling Teeth Pod on Twitter and Instagram.
You can email us at wisdom@pullingteethpodcast.com.
Yeah, we've got the Facebook page and the YouTube page if you want to give us a share and a subscribe and a like. Also got the website, www.pullingteethpodcast.com. Yeah. Which will have episodes up a day early. I need to figure out a time when we release things. We've just kind of just released it. I mean, I don't even think the actual... I need to release our video this evening, actually. It's on the website now. But yeah, I need to figure out a time to release something, just to be uniform. Yeah. But that feels very adult. Just release it. I mean, it's just, let's get it out there and kind of deal with it. Yeah. Because as soon as one comes out a day early, well, then that means the next time, I mean, what... But yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Any other social media stuff? Don't know.
No, I don't think so.
We've decided upon a glorious leader. We decided upon it a little while ago, but we haven't found the right way to do it yet, so I'm going to try and figure out a way of announcing that this week. So we can start playing around with that. I need to get into contact properly. Yeah. Get something sorted. Other than that, just try and be productive this week. Try and do things. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have a marketing meeting afterwards.
Everybody go and move a rock.
Yeah, it's the only smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.